makes you so sick at heart that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part.
Glenn Greenwald is a horrible human being. If you haven't noticed this, given his behavior over the past couple of years, I don't know what cave you've lived in, but he's really just had I guess an intellectual and emotional meltdown over the past couple of years that has seen him go from a champion of civil rights who exposed some of the worst abuses of privacy from Western governments to their own people. He's turned that into just basically being a simp for Tucker Carlson and Fox News and expressing obvious sympathies for the populist far right, all because his entire worldview is framed by uh, the liberal media is the worst thing in the world, and I must oppose it at all costs and ally myself with whoever I can to oppose this liberal media and liberal establishment. That is his game. It is patently obvious, and there is no nuance involved in this game. He does not accept even the slightest disagreement. He does not give even the slightest, most remote concession to anything that the liberal establishment might get right. For example, uh, COVID science, which he has also waded into this whole, the mainstream media is kind of stifling the science on certain drugs, which I will not mention which ones. Anyway, just when I thought he couldn't get any lower, he did. And I think this is as low as it can get. I honestly, barring him, just coming out like a, straight out Nazi, I think this is as low as he can get. And what started this? Well, Chelsea Manning, which I guess was a former ally and friend, tweeted, Glenn Greenwald, I don't have $1,000 right now, but if I get it, I want to send it back to you from a donation you once did. I can't deal with this anymore. I'm terrified of you and everything you do. You're greedy, unprincipled, and I'm embarrassed for ever considering you a friend. Now, I think if I had a friend like Glenn Greenwald, who has, like I said, in the last couple of years, just descended into this rabbit hole of far right sympathizing, this pettiness and bitterness that he has, because it's so obvious. I mean, it is so obvious. It's so sad. The fights that he picks, the hills that he wants to die on. For an established Pulitzer Prize winning journalist who goes on these like Twitter battles with complete random people. I've had exchanges with him, by the way. Did not end very well for him, but I've had exchanges with him. And you would think, why on earth is he bothering to go, to debate someone like me on Twitter? I don't even have 1,000 subscribers. But yeah, that is him. He responds, friendships that depend on political agreement were never friendships, just cynical transactions. I mean, this is sociopathic, okay? I do think he is a sociopath at this point. Something has gotten to his head. I think he always was. If you read his history, I think he always was a bit of a narcissist and a bit of a sociopath. That he happened to be doing good things, I think, clouded a lot of people's judgment of what his personality actually is. But if you read his backstory, even before he became famous, he has glimpses of this already. This really isn't a surprise, to be honest. When she was in prison trying to repeatedly kill herself, I was one of the only one who visited, spent hours on the phone, raising money for her. No good deed goes on. Boo fucking who. Yeah, let's just point out the other person's suicidal tendencies and mental health issues, just to get a gotcha on Twitter. This is despicable, a despicable reply. And he goes on. Anyway, sometimes people are nice to you as long as you're of use to them and provide them the things they want, then turn on you when you can't or won't any longer. As long as you No, you gave and defended them with the right motives, as I did. Your conscience should be clean. I honestly don't think Glenn Greenwald has many friends in real life. I don't think he has the personality of being able to forge close relationships with people that aren't based on mutual interest. So, yeah. Lots of people on the left, not all but many, mistake friendships for political agreements, such as when the political agreement erodes, for them the friendship does too. Friendships that don't transcend politics or require political agreement have no value. And I love how Jesus mentions this on the left, as if this was a leftist problem, because he will spare no expense at dissing the left in any way, while sympathizing for the right. Yeah. While Julian Assange is rotting in prison, Chelsea Manning recently smeared him when he couldn't defend himself, announcing that if she had to do it over again, she would not have leaked to WikiLeaks. While lining someone unjustly rotting in prison is not an attribute I value. He should not be in the business of describing attributes that he values, given his personality. But anyway, then this is when it gets worse. Like I said, this is bad in itself, but it just gets worse. He starts posting personal conversations with Chelsea Manning. And this was from 2018. And I think this is very sensible. Glenn, this Tucker Carlson thing is really, really, really off mark. Tucker Carlson is basically organizing as a Nazball demagogue. You're losing a lot of friends. Whose side are you on? This is exactly what someone who doesn't want to have a conflict with a close friend or close associate, whatever you want to call it, whether it's friendship or not, it doesn't matter. This is something that clearly she cares about. She cares about not just this relationship between the two, but also the image that this person is projecting. And I would probably send something very similarly phrased if I had a friend who was descending into the kind of madness that Tucker Carlson has been descending into over the past couple of years. But yeah, and then this just completely blew up. Some of Glenn Greenwald's allies, like Michael Tracy, who's another piece of human garbage, calls this pitiful scumbag behavior to publicly denounce someone who was your chief advocate for years and years at significant personal expense, just because you disagree about January 6th or Fox News or whatever other dumb issue you think justifies this kind of self-aggrandizing outburst. I think these are kind of important issues. I think, yeah, January 6th is an important thing to judge someone based on what their position on this is. Fox News is also kind of important because a certain someone like Tucker Carlson openly promotes white supremacist ideas on it. So yeah, if you're going on Fox News and agreeing with everything that Tucker Carlson says, never pushing back, and just using him as an outlet for your own gripes against the liberal media, yeah, you are contributing to the other stuff that Tucker Carlson is spitting out on his show. So I would be worried. Then, of course, the character assassinations. Imagine if a picture of Glenn Greenwald existed being friendly with the founder of the Proud Boys. So, yeah. Now, the context of this is apparently that she went to this kind of alt-right meeting back in, this is from 2018, apparently. And it is not something that Chelsea Manning is particularly proud of. So much that she tweeted later, because she obviously got a lot of flack for doing this. I don't know why she did it. Everyone makes mistakes. I don't know what she wanted to get out of hanging out with these people, whether it was just seeing what this was all about, seeing if there was, perhaps some issues that they would find things in common with on, I don't know, anti-intervention or, free speech, civil rights, whatever. I don't know. Clearly a mistake. And clearly a mistake that she recognized is a mistake, because she tweeted this back in 2018. Been over a week since I've let everyone who helped me out of prison down. So many of you have helped me through tough times. I try too hard to do too much. I'm sorry I'm a human being and not a symbol. I have hit rock bottom. This is the kind of attitude to a mistake that Glenn Greenwald would never ever express because he is pathologically incapable of self-reflection. He is incapable of apologizing. In his world, he can do no wrong. So just compare the attitudes of Chelsea Manning and Glenn Greenwald when they screw up. And then it gets even worse, as if it couldn't get any worse. I haven't spoken to Chelsea Manning since 2018, but she posted accusations today claiming she's terrified of me, insinuating I abused or threatened her. Wait, how does this logically follow? How does just saying that you're terrified of him imply abuse, especially given that they're not even in the same country? This is absolutely mental. To refute that, read all our communications since 2016. Her only grievances are about my politics. And so he writes in his Substack every single conversation that he had, every single private conversation that he had with Chelsea Manning. How fucking despicable is this? How? I mean, I'm sorry. He can't get. This is what I said at the beginning. He has always found a way to stoop lower and lower and lower and lower. But I think this is rock bottom. I don't think he can do anything worse than this, at least in terms of demonstrating what an absolute scumbag of a human being he is to other human beings. I don't think he can get any worse than this. This is just beyond the pale. And I honestly don't think how there can be people who consider themselves leftists who at this point still feel the need to defend Glenn Greenwald at all costs. And most of these people, unsurprisingly, are in, the Jimmy Dore dumb left orbit. There is a massive overlap between these people. And it is not a surprise that these people have sympathies with the same kind of Nazbol reactionaries on the right, the ones that also fall for Tucker Carlson. It is not a surprise at all. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. And yeah. And he ends with this. When I read Chelsea's tweets, I felt it as betrayal from a friend. So he's gotten a lot of flack as well from this. I felt it as a betrayal from a friend. Wait, you said she wasn't your friend. You see how he just contradicts himself? My reference to helping her through her publicly reported suicide attempts was to express why I was hurt. Oh, poor guy. He's hurt. But I see how it was viewed and apologize. I stand by everything else I said, and that's my last word on this. That's not an apology. That's not a friggin' apology. That's an I'm sorry, you're sorry. I'm sorry you... How does it go? I'm sorry that you're sorry. I'm sorry that you're hurt. I'm sorry that you're offended. Not I'm sorry that I offended you. Not I'm sorry that I hurt you. Yeah, this is pathetic. And then the worst part is this all happened apparently on the day that he was celebrating his kid's birthday. I recall. Oh yeah, same day. Happy 14th birthday to our oldest son, Joao Vitor. Along with my marriage, becoming a father is the best and most gratifying choice I have ever made. We got so lucky to have the perfect kids for our lives. And what does he spend doing the rest of the day? Tweeting. He can't stop tweeting. That's all he does. Look at all those freaking tweets from September 7th. September 2nd. What else did you do that day? Did you just cancel the kid's birthday and just spend the rest of the day on fucking Twitter? Going on a meltdown? Look at this. Look at how many... He tweets more in one day than I tweet in a week. That's like 30 tweets during this time frame. Yeah, like 30 tweets and a Substack article. So he spent the entire day of his kid's birthday on a Twitter rage / meltdown and writing the most petty Substack piece he could possibly write, digging up all the private freaking conversations that he had with Chelsea Manning. What degree of scumbag is that on a scale of 1 to 10? That's like a freaking 11. I mean, I'm just, I have no words. I have no words. I cannot conceive how I could treat another human being the way that he just did to Chelsea Manning. And in public, with no shame, and with this half-assed apology. But that is Glenn Greenwald, ladies and gentlemen. That is your defender of civil liberties, your valiant journalistic crusader, the man who called Donald Trump a socialist. That's Glenn Greenwald. What a sad piece of shit. No other way to describe him. On that note, if you like this video, please like, please share. Most importantly, please subscribe to the channel. And don't go on Twitter meltdowns on the day of your child's birthday. It's not good for the soul. And here's my bet for the future. If this happens, you heard it here first. I have a feeling that they're going to get divorced. Because I have no idea how his husband can tolerate him. I bet you anything that they will get divorced in, either the remainder of the year or sometime next year. Because this cannot be a happy marriage with a guy who's just so bitter, so angry, so resentful at everything, despite the fact that he has everything. There's few more accomplished journalists in the last 2 decades than Glenn Greenwald. So he has everything, and yet he has nothing because he's a piece of shit. So, see you next time.